Welcome to Romance Rex, where three book besties explore the world of romance novels and encourage you to expand your TBR. Join us as we dive into the hottest releases and hidden gems of the genre. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Romance Rex Pods. I am Jordan, and I am currently re-listening to Liar by Tate James.
Devaney, and I am currently reading and listening to A Love Song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams.
I'm Christina, and I'm currently reading My Dark Desire by Parker S. Huntington and L.J. Shen. So buckle up for some bookish banter.
Dev just got way too excited. Way too excited. That's okay.
Way too excited.
You know what?
So much excitement.
Love that for all of us. Great job, everybody. All right. How are we doing?
Doing great.
You know, we're doing good. We're here. We're thriving. We're alive.
How's your reading been the last little while? Have we been reading a lot?
Oh my gosh. You know? I've been reading a lot, but this book, A Love Song for Ricky Wilde, I just want to shout about it from the rooftops.
And
like,
you are.
I'm so obsessed.
And you have been. So keep it up. You go, girl.
I just, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
All the voice notes. We've been enjoying it with you.
I mean, that's what you guys are for, okay? That's what this group is for. You're supposed to indulge on my bookish fantasies and rants.
We do.
Don't. We won't yuck your yum. We won't yuck your
Please
yum.
don't.
No.
Thank you.
You don't yuck my yum because this episode is my yum.
Yeah, you don't be yucking. No. Oh, well, things are about to get dark.
How dark?
After dark. Oh.
Real dark.
Guys.
What are we talking about today, Jordan?
What are we talking about? This is our dark/bully romance episode. And you might be asking yourself, what the hell are they talking about? Dark romance? I am here to educate you. Yeah, I got so excited about this episode earlier. I was like kicking my little feet and it knocked over my ring light. So here we are. Dark romance is a subgenre of the greater umbrella term romance. It has darker themes and mature content. These stories often come with morally black characters and plots riddled with trauma and violence. Popular tropes that make up a lot of these novels include mafia, stalking, and kidnappings, and I would add bully romance. And I'm going to beg you all, please check the trigger warnings before you dive into any of these books.
So these authors do have their content and trigger warnings in the book or on their website, so please read them.
I will say, while we won't dive too deep into the individual triggers of every single book, some of them will be mentioned here, so I think we should have a trigger warning for this episode as well. For some of the themes that we will be talking about tonight or today, whenever you're listening to it.
Yeah.
Morning.
Enjoy, but also...
That's when I enjoy listening to mine.
Protect your peace.
That's when I like to listen to my dark romance. I like to wake up.
She is unhinged. All right, before we get into dark romance, though, please, do we want to share any really good quotes? Because y'all know I am itching to give y'all a Ricky Wilde quote. Do we want to share any really good quotes or rant about what we've been reading lately? Who wants to go first? Oh, thank you guys for asking. I'll go first. So
I'm not the only one excited this evening.
I'm so excited. No, because when you're reading a book and everything is just fresh in your mind, so you just want to share. I want to share. But so it's A Love Song for Ricky Wilde, Tia Williams. Again, write it down, jot it down, people. I'll wait because you have to go read this book. Anyway, this is a quote that an older woman, one of the characters, Della, is telling the main character, Ricky. She's like talking to her in conversation and talking about love to her. And this is what she says. To me, love is like listening to an album. Some people skip to their favorite songs and ignore the rest. Other people listen to the entire album over and over until it's familiar and cherished and they know every note by heart. That's how Dr. Bennett and I loved each other. He was music I could listen to forever.
Aww.
Wow.
Are you not swooning? Music I could listen to forever?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I want to meet someone whose song I could play forever. Everybody's so annoying. But that's not this kind of podcast, so someone else share.
That'll have to be a special Patreon if you want to hear us get deep about our own self. And even then,
Right.
you're gonna have to pay us for that.
Yeah, you're going to have to pay me to talk about that.
That's weird. I have to pay my therapist to talk about that.
Oh, Christina.
Yeah, that's good. Everyone should have a therapist. Unfortunately, America sucks. So let's move on.
That's true.
Right.
Christina.
You got Christina.
have
Yeah.
quote? Is it another sad
It's
one?
a sweet one.
Ooh, she's got
It's just
sweet.
kinda
What's a sweet one? Okay. Yay.
It's from the book I just finished, A Fate Inked in Blood.
Can't wait. to read that.
Ooh. Yeah.
The main
Yeah, I'm
male
excited.
character, they're getting ready for a battle. And so the female main character is basically, getting ready to die in this battle.
Of course.
And this is what he says.
Spoilers. Thank you.
Well, that's what she thinks. I don't know. There's battles in every book.
Everyone thinks you're gonna die, but
Then I
they
guess.
don't, unless you're
Okay.
a resand, then you're never
Maybe
gonna
it's this
die.
one.
Even when you do.
Ever.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. My quote goes like this. You will not die today, born in fire, because I will slaughter anyone who comes near you. That is a promise.
Yeah, I like them a little possessive. I like them a little
Did you say
possessive
that was
and obsessed.
The male main character that said that?
Something to look forward to.
Murder.
Little
It goes along with our dark themes.
Right.
Love it.
I love it.
I'll slaughter.
Yeah.
Good.
Jordan, what about you, girl?
Well, I have a rant today. I have not done a rant yet.
Oh, yes.
And this is just like a call. Like, I read probably one of my favorite scenes that is more like, it was like 2 chapters. This is more like a couple scenes. It turned into a couple scenes. This in Restoration by Tate James. There's a theme here with Tate James right now. I'm in an era.
Yeah.
Okay?
In her Tate James era.
I can't get out. I cannot get out. I'm trying to call myself out, but I don't want to. Anyways, so
Tate James has you in a chokehold.
love her, marry me. I'm already married. I need more sex toys in my novels because when I tell you, her friend got her a whole goodie bag, and it was part of it was like a test to see like how he would react and if he would be, a self-conscious, like emasculated bro douche, or if he would rise to the challenge. And he rose to that fucking challenge, and it
Love it.
amazing. Exploring new things. Loved it. And
I love that. And I already know how Tate writes, so I'm imagining like how well that is written. I'm excited.
She obviously does her research because it was impeccable. It was just so. Anyways.
Tate, we see you. We see you, boo, doing your research.
I mean, I want to see. It's like sex positivity beyond just the like sex.
Yeah.
I love it. More sex
Yeah.
toys.
That extra step. Yeah. We agree.
So,
Here.
if my family is listening, just should have turned it off by now. Should have just turned that off by now.
You should have been gone by dark romance, okay?
Okay. Yes.
I love that rant of yours.
Thank you. It just makes me happy. Anywho. Who wants to go first?
silence.
Oh, sure. I will. Yes.
Go first, girl.
Oh, jeez. Shucks. Thanks. I would love to. Dark romance. My first one of the evening is one I haven't read for a while. So it's just like a poll because I wanted something a little bit different. But Hollow Heathens by Nicole Fiorina.
Haven't heard of this one.
Gothic paranormal dark romance.
Ooh, I love paranormal.
I think you two would love it when I say that I'm pretty sure this is the most beautifully written romance book I have ever read. I'm
Wow,
serious.
intriguing.
I couldn't stop
Wow.
highlighting.
Right?
And I would highlight like a paragraph at a time. It's a piece of just art. And it's intriguing plot. And I won't even say I wasn't interested in the plot, but I wanted to keep reading because of the prose. Which
Right.
doesn't really ever happen
I
for
love
me.
that.
So basically it's Fallon Grimaldi is a mortician, and she basically gets called back to her family's hometown for one reason or another. But it's a secluded place that really can only be found by certain people and is closed by magic.
But love that. Love me a veil.
Magic isn't so in your face in this town. So it's not like she's like coming in, I'm a witch. It's more like I heard these stories and apparently and she finds out that they're true, right? And then the male main character is Julian, and he has a dark secret. And I'm not going to get in much to that other than he's one of what they're called the hollow heathens, the heathens of the town. And it's like him and his friends, and they have a dark secret. And that's all I want to say about them. And to get you to read this book,
interesting.
I'm not going to tell you anything else except for I'm going to read this long quote, but I think it's beautiful and it's going to make you want to read it.
All right, girl, go for it.
I was very much in love, and it was nothing as the famous poets had said. It was a strange love, the kind that didn't feel good all the time, the kind where my greatest fears crawled, but an undying acceptance too, the kind where I had to stand in front of a mirror, forced to see me for what I was. What this was, the kind to question myself and everything I knew. I was certain this was like no other, though I had nothing to compare it to. Maybe no one could ever. And perhaps that was the point we could not see. No two were the same, or would ever be. And there would never be an answer for what it was. But I was in love. And the kind where King had said how blood called to blood, because I was so much in love. And maybe he was too. It's just
cute.
It's spooky, and it's like, there are curses and dark rituals.
Is it like a new story, or is it a retelling of something?
I think it's definitely pulled a few elements from witchy stories you've heard. And
anytime I hear Hollow anything, I think Sleepy Hollow. That's why I asked.
It's not quite like Sleepy Hollow. And there is a second one. It's like a series. I have not read the others yet, just because I'm a mood reader and it has to strike my fancy.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I will. It's just beautiful. Beautiful and dark.
Yeah. That sounds like a tender kind of dark, though. Yeah, I feel like I can handle that. Because, when Jordan gets ready, she's going to put something on us that I'm like, baby, I can't read that. But that feels like something that I could definitely read, for sure.
Yeah. She is a mortician, and I think I would call her maybe a spirit witch is the closest thing I could call her to what's going on.
Love me a witch.
Yeah. And there was a big reveal that I was not expecting. Like a truth came out that I was really thrown with. But one that I love even more than Hollow Heathens is really well written, but it's not about the romantic prose. Who is Losers by Harley.
Oh, yeah. Set the scene.
Set the scene for you. Jessica Martin, was a prom queen, ruled the school, mean girl. She had a special fascination with 4 boys specifically, the poor losers of the school. She even contributed to getting Manson, one of them, expelled. She gives in one crazy night before leaving town, thinking once will be enough to get them out of her system. Years later, she leaves college and ends up back in her hometown with her parents. After getting caught up once again in harmful antics, there is penance to be paid. Ooh. Manson, Jason, Lucas, and Vincent are their own found family and have open polyamorous relationship since high school. They have best support system for each other, and after the trauma of their pasts, they each have reasons to want retribution from Jess. And what better way than making her theirs to do with as they please? So basically, to pay her penance, like they catch her in the act of something. Well, she gets framed, really. She gets framed. It really wasn't her this time because she's grown past it. Like, she's not in high school anymore. She's older. She's graduated from college. But going back, wrong place, wrong time, and she had to own up to that. And to own up to that, she basically says, okay,
you got
me. And so she is theirs. Body, mind, and sexual soul.
Flag on the plate, sexual soul. Flag on the plate.
And when I heard this, I was like, this sounds so stupid. Like, why would she's going to give herself up? But
right.
I'll tell you, this book changed my chemistry for what I expect from like kinks and BDSM and consent and non-con. It really raised the bar. Because in the beginning, before they do anything, they literally give her a list of every known kink and every sexual act. And she has to rate them interested, not interested, or maybe. it's detailed things that I'm like, oh, that's considered and I thought I was a worldly woman.
I need to see that list. I'm very curious about the list. Well, I already know I'm going to read Losers because you love it so much and I just have to. But I'm very excited to read the list.
When I tell you my maiden name is Martin, my name starts with a J. Okay, I was not like a mean girl like this, but I was not a nice girl. I just had an attitude. It's not like I did bad things to people. I just wasn't the nicest. And so when I tell you, I'm like, yeah.
To connect with her.
And then when they call her Miss Martin in certain scenes, and
I'm not sure you get hot and bothered thinking they're talking to you.
Yes, Vincent. Yeah.
That's hilarious. So that's like dark bully. Interesting. Yeah. I'm scared, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to read it.
Definitely check the trigger warnings, but know that whatever happens in there is very consensual and they are very respectful. And it even goes into their history in like how they got to be that way. They learn professional kinks.
So the 4 guys, they're one relationship.
So there's kind of 2 couples within, but they're all bisexual. They're all polyamorous. Some of them are just like, some of them are open. They've all had an obsession with Jess, and Jess has had an obsession with them. It's just, it was just this angsty teen hate. And
now they're adults.
And can play out all those fantasies and play out all those fantasies that they had when they were in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just Losers 1 and 2, and there is a novella to start, a prequel called The Dare. I have not read it because I don't want it to end. I don't want to say goodbye to these characters. You should read it first. I didn't know about it before I started it, though.
I didn't know there were 2 books. So there are 2 books.
It's just called both of them Losers 1 and 2.
Got it. Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What else you got for us?
One more. Okay.
I know you have a list.
I do. The next one is the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. This is a pretty popular one in the dark romance subgenre in the bully romance. It is 4 books plus 2 novellas. Each book is technically a standalone with no cliffhangers, but they are extremely interconnected. So you could technically read any of them. I really don't suggest that, and some things won't make sense. Definitely read them in order. The first one is Corrupt. Each book follows a different member of these 4 friends called the 4 Horsemen. So it primarily follows the guys group and picks up the girls along the way. It's kind of,
Yeah, it picks up the girls along.
And so they follow couples back and forth from present day back to their high school selves. And it's Michael, Kai, Damon, and Will. It is a bully romance where each couple deals with their own traumatic past. Some of them, yes, it's very much straightforward trauma. Some of them, it's very much their own antagonistic history. It's just different for every couple. But there's always an element of mystery to be unraveled and found out, and there's a greater mystery through the whole arc of the series. I like to see how it plays out. I love the couples. I love all of them. And I like the back and forth because you learn the relationship as it goes through because of alternating time hops.
Timelines. Yeah.
And they do really shitty things to these girls.
Oh,
because
Jesus.
Well, because for one, like in Corrupt, for example, they think that Erica, the female main character, sent 3 of them to jail. So they're trying to get retribution on her for this.
Not some jailbirds.
Oh, yeah. No. Okay.
Something really off on her, too.
Right.
They're known as the 4 Horsemen because starting in high school, they started this tradition of the Devil's Night, the night before Halloween. Devil's Night is an actual thing. Devil's Night. They decided to resurrect it in this town, and they get up to these crazy shenanigans, like insane put you in jail kind of things, like setting buildings on fire.
Oh my god.
But it's never like you learn later. You learn later if they beat someone up, it's because they found out that they're like a pedophile, or or they burned this building down because they found out it was a crack house, and it was cleared of people.
It was vigilante stuff.
You learn later. I mean, some of it maybe seems a little borderline and
excessive,
and some of it's vindictive, but that's also dark romance.
Yeah. Right. It goes with the genre.
Read the first one. I don't think she loved it as much as I did, but it does have a cult following.
It was okay.
It was okay.
I agree. Some
Yeah,
of the
I know.
things they
I've
did
seen
to her was a bit much.
the
Yeah.
books all over TikTok, so I'm like familiar with it. But
It's a good
yeah, I haven't read
it's
them.
a good intro into dark romance.
Intro.
Yeah.
I read the back of that first book. I thought that was like big. I thought that was advanced level.
This was my intro to dark romance. Like, and I thought it was a really good front of the mill.
You thought it was soft and fluffy. I'm gonna be shaking in
No,
my boots reading this. You thought it was just a cute little
Don't
romance.
yuck my yum, okay?
I'm not yucking it.
I like it.
I
Also,
thought it was good. I'll say that.
it's okay, Christina. You can just say it's okay. Like, it's okay to have.
Yeah. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it, Christina. I have no thoughts because it was just so scary sounding when I read the back. But, maybe I'll get to it one day, not front and center on my TBR, but I do eventually want to read it, see what the hype's about, FOMO and all.
Those are my 3 recs. I will say, I want to give a special shout out, though, to any, like, if you want dark or bully, definitely Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. Most of their stuff is bully, or a lot of it is. Most of it, if not all, now that I'm thinking about it. Tate James for dark romance, definitely. And Penelope Douglas, all of her stuff is bully romance. And Katie Robert has a lot.
Love that.
That's what I have to say. So let's hear about from 2 people who have dabbled in the dark arts.
Right. Not the dark art.
Little dabbles.
Ooh, Christina, do you want to go first or you want me to take it?
Sure, I'll go first. Okay. So this one is also really super popular. Haunting Adeline. This story follows Adeline, an author who recently moved to her grandmother's home after her passing. Adeline can't help but liken her own story to her late great-grandmother, Gigi. Gigi was murdered, but by who? No one knows. The mystery draws her in, wrapping her up in uncomfortable layers of familiarity when she sees herself on the receiving end of a stalker's attention. Her stalker is Z, a gifted hacker and vigilante. You see, Gigi also had a stalker, and her stalker fell in love. This is a fate Adeline fights tooth and nail, even when circumstances beyond their control pull them closer together. And because I made that book seem, you're like, oh, that's not too bad. That sounds good. I'm going to read you some of the trigger warnings.
Please.
Scenes of murder, torture, gunplay, bloodplay, rape, sexual assault, stalking, human trafficking, kidnapping, dubious consent, human child trafficking, child abduction, and more.
Is it all on page? Because some of them are like from past. Like they talk about grapes from the past.
So the child abduction.
The child. Yeah, I think the child stuff may not be on page.
The rest is, see.
Yeah.
I have limits, everybody. I have limits. And I have not read Haunting because I don't think it would be for me. It's not
I made it sound like, oh, she's solving a murder and it's great. No.
Yeah, no. I hate hate is a strong word because I read Haunting Adeline and then I immediately read Hunting Adeline just because I had to know what happened, right? But it was very strange. I think that was my first real dark reading. Yeah, the reading Haunting and Hunting Adeline. Oh, maybe I take that back because it's by H.D. Carlton and she also has How Does It Feel? No.
Does It Hurt?
What's the name of it? Does It Hurt? Yes. H.D. Carlton has Does It Hurt? I read that one first. And then I was like, what? Because that was kind of iffy. And then I read those 2. But yeah, I think that was a lot for me.
Yeah, I feel like Haunting Adeline, I liked it a lot more than I liked Hunting. I did not really like Hunting. It was super just like conspiracy
trauma
theorists and sex and human trafficking, and that's it. There was like no plot other than sex trafficking, and the government's all involved, and the president and everybody's involved. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it was really stupid. Towards the end, it was like, babe, the beginning was like, I cried reading the beginning, which is crazy because it was just, But then the rest of the book, I was cracking up because I was like, I know you fucking lying. Is this a comedy now? Yeah. What do you mean? Your world is involved. It got way too it was like it was out of here. Like, what is happening?
It was like a conspiracy theorist's most crazy.
I was just going to say, I feel like this is something that certain people I know in my hometown would say is...
Yes, if the news starts with...
Don't go to Target, this is what's going to happen to you. And then they describe what happened in that book.
Exactly, yes.
You maybe. Not gonna lie to you. Maybe, babe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I liked Haunting Adeline. It had some great dark romance aspects.
Were you going to say it's
but
cute?
there was also some crazy stuff.
Were you about to say it was
I feel
cute?
like she was gonna say it's cute. I think she was gonna say it's cute because I was looking at her mouth and I was like, is she about to say this book is cute? That is psychotic.
Cutting off someone's
That's
hands
crazy.
is kind of cute.
I love that.
Yeah, like yeah, it's definitely touch her and die for sure.
To
Like,
be fair, that doesn't happen in the dark romances that I suggested. Have I read lots of those? Yes. I just want to say, maybe
they're not
I
that
don't
dark.
think you're reading the right dark romance.
Yeah, maybe. I think.
Although,
I think I'm reading.
A lot of people love these books. A lot of people love that duology.
Right, they're like cult
might have
classics.
just lost
It's
a little.
everyone loves it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna yuck your yum. You know, we joking about it, but for real, if you enjoyed that book, you enjoyed that book. I'm not gonna hate you because you enjoyed it. That doesn't mean that I personally loved it and would recommend it to every person I meet on the street. It's just not that book for me. But I'm glad I read it. I understand why the hype is the hype, because the one thing about Daddy Zayd, that's where that book had me, because he was crazy. But the line of when she asks him his last name, and he says something about the same as yours.
Yeah.
Or no, he says, our last name is XYZ. I was like, oh, you had me, babe.
Yeah,
You gotta tell me what my last name is. Yeah, meanwhile, she
Whether
just
you
met
like
this
it or
man
not.
5 seconds ago. Yeah, no, it was good.
Also, the one thing is it takes place in Seattle. And so I was kind of drawn
Shout
in
out
by
to
that.
Seattle.
I have
Click
one
for the
other one.
forest. Yeah, give it to us.
Okay. The Never King. So I'm going to say both of these books I read because both of you guys recommended, or because you guys recommended these ones to me. The series follows Winnie Darling. Winnie comes from a long line of the Darling family, like from Peter Pan.
Oh, adorable.
And each Darling woman is always taken on their 18th birthday and then brought back broken, is how they explained it. Their minds are like broken. So Peter Pan brings Winnie back to Neverland to kind of look through her thoughts. He's looking through for a lost memory that's supposed to be handed down genetically. Don't ask me how that happens.
Magic.
The men on Neverland who've promised to never have sex with Darling.
They'll never.
It's not the word they
right.
use.
Fuck a darling.
That's their, I didn't know if we were going to beep it out. Never fuck a darling. Okay, that's their logo. They live by that. They've trademarked that. She's
But
trying
guess what
to
happens?
escape. Yeah. So she thought she'll lay on the charm, starts to get him to fall for her. There's some fucking.
fall right into her cunt.
Right, they sure do. They slip and slide right into
Oh,
that
the slip and
thing.
slide.
It is a dark Peter Pan retelling with the reverse harem, violence, BDSM, and past trauma.
Yeah, I only read the first one. I think I needed to be in a mood to read the rest. Actually, no, I'd read half the second one too. But yeah, it was trauma in there. With Wendy alone. Yeah, I got to finish the series. I'm definitely interested. I want to know how it ends. I'm hoping that there's a light, at the end of the tunnel. Like it gets a little fluffy and cute, because them Lost Boys ain't nothing to play with. That's crazy.
I think they are good to play with. I think
There are plenty to play with.
there's a twin sandwich. There's
Oh, never knew I was. I'm not gonna say that. Never. Moving on.
Don't move on. Tell us, Deb.
Twins is wild. Twins. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say.
and reading it, all I could think about was like growing up how like women who are twins always get over sexualized. And I was always like, that is so sick. Like, gross. And then you read
that's
books
so
like this and you're
stupid.
like, did I just become a man?
Excuse me.
Did I?
Yes. I'm no better than a man.
That's not true.
One
We are
thing I'm
so
never
much
gonna
better
forget
than
about
men.
reading.
This is not true at all. Okay, sorry. Christina.
One thing I won't forget about reading this series is I went to the mall to the Disney store when I was reading. And I remember I sent you guys the picture of the Peter Pan backpack. I said I can never look at Peter Pan the same way.
First of all, your mistake was going to the Disney store while reading this book, because, baby, stay far away. When you're reading retellings like this, do not revisit the lore or story it comes from, because I feel like, you're going to be side-eyeing for sure.
Sounds
Heavy
great.
on the side-eye.
See, I'm the other direction. Like, go buy some merch.
Thanks, Disney.
Not go buy some merch. That's crazy. You got another one for us?
Yeah.
No, that's
two.
all I got so far.
That's
Dark
it?
romance isn't her favorite, and that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think I only have 2 real suggestions anyway.
Sorry. Real quick
What?
about the Never they are short. So if people are looking for like short reads, they are quick. I just wanted to.
Very quick, yes.
Sorry.
Which I like because you can digest them real quick.
Deb, we want to hear yours.
So I know. So my first one is going to be Butcher and Blackbird by Brynn Weaver. This book kind of took TikTok by storm. I just heard everyone talking about it, so I was really curious. And I had listened to someone did like a sample of the audio and also the audiobook, but also the first page of the content warnings. And I was like, I'm sold. I need to understand how you fit all of this in a book. So I just want to give y'all a little preview of what's in there. Eyeballs and eye sockets, amateur surgery, skin ornaments, chainsaws, axes, knives, scalpels, a lot of sharp objects, accidental cannibalism, not so accidental cannibalism, questionable use of a mummified corpse, lobotomized manservant, ill-advised use of kitchen implements. I'm sorry about the cookies and cream ice cream. I'm not really. Detailed sex scenes, which include, but are not limited to, cock-warming, rough sex, prey skink, anal, adult toys, choking, spitting, dom sub interactions, genital piercing. The list is long. Y'all can go check it out on Brynn's website if you want to. But I read that list, and honestly and truly, what pulled me in was the cookies and cream ice cream thing. Because I was like, no, it was the cookies and cream.
Right after the
I was like, how do you? Right. Yeah, the cannibalism, it was just like, people get a little hungry. Sometimes you want a little piece of human. But the ice cream, I was just good.
When you're reading.
I know this is
when
an
you're
audio,
reading
but
Dexter.
I'm having a hard time responding, even though I know this is an audio show.
I'm kidding. No.
I'm turning the fan.
I will say the cannibalism is not as crazy as I expected. It was not as crazy, but it is in it.
If there's
but the cookies and cream ice cream.
Yeah, we don't need anything.
I know. Is it? It's not on page. Oh, it is on page. Anyway, moving right along. So the story, the little synopsis that I wrote, which you can look up what it's actually about, but
why should people?
You should read this because it's a dark romance, but it's also a rom-com. And I know y'all are thinking, what, question mark? What do you mean? When I tell you, this book had me cracking up because the 2 main characters are absolutely unhinged. They are both serial killers. Can I say serial killers or should I say serial unalivers? Anyway, they kill people for a living, but they're vigilantes. They just be killing the bad peeps, okay? They happen upon each other in a chance encounter and basically enter this rivalry and start this game of who can kill their marks first. They meet up like once a year. They do this big little game. They go killing, little killing spree, if you will. And a cute little friendship blossoms out of it. The friendship turns into a romance, and we get our main characters going through all kinds of shenanigans, but also lots of comedy and lots of killing. They go hand in hand. And I'm just like loving. This is going to be a trilogy, I think Brynn has put out. So there's a second book coming out with 2 other characters. One of the male main character in Butcher and Blackbird, his brother, and the best friend of the female main character. It's the marriage of convenience, but also serial killers.
Oh.
Cannot wait. And I know it's going to be funny because those 2 were funny on their own. That's Butcher and Blackbird. Listen to the audio if you're going to dive in. I highly recommend. If not, I'm sure it'll be a good read as well.
I'm getting like
that's
Dexter
my first one.
Vibes. Just when you first started reading that, I was getting Dexter vibes. And then you say they kill bad people. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, they definitely kill bad people. But yeah, I feel like I could see the Dexter vibes in it too. The second book I have is How Does It Feel by Janine O'Reilly. This book, actually, I feel like I'm reading all the TikTok books, like the hype books. For once in my life, right? I'm always reading like the super indie, no one knows about books. But this one, I remember seeing it everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. And there was specifically one video where I saw a creator get to the end. The author actually stitched this or duetted this on her page, but the creator gets to the end of the book and is flabbergasted, throws the book, and she's what the hell did I just read energy because of whatever plot twist is in there. And that hooked me. I was like, what is the plot twist that would have you fling a book like that and look so distraught? So I read it, and I'm not going to lie, it's nothing that I expected going into this book. And when you're like 95% through the book, before the plot twist hits, and it comes so far out of left field that you're just like, what just happened? But let me give you like a little synopsis. A biologist takes a trip into the forest to collect rare mushrooms when she falls through a fairy portal and lands on top of the unseelie Fae prince, who is convinced that she's an assassin sent to kill him. In a strange turn of events, she gets put through 3 trials to gain her freedom. If she doesn't pass the trials, she dies. This is so dark. When I tell you it is dark, this man hates her. In this version of the unseelie Fae, they cannot touch humans because humans are considered so disgusting, so dirty, that if you touch one with your naked hand or skin, you are now not worthy of anything. Everyone wears gloves around her. 2319. What? No, you have to explain because no one understands.
You know.
Why are you laughing?
Monsters, Inc. They can't touch the humans.
Okay, thank you. I was like, it sounds so
okay,
familiar.
I was so confused. Yes.
I was like, I know those numbers. Okay. Why do I know those numbers? I did not remember. Thank you.
It's definitely a 2319 situation.
Okay.
Like, it is absolutely 2319 all over the book. Like, if no one even wants to be around her. The way he treats her, I know it's supposed to be a romance as well, but we haven't gotten there yet. So yeah, I would recommend just to get to the twist because that girl, she is something else. You read it just to get to the end of the book, honestly, because you will be blown away. You'll either really love the book or the twist will make you hate everything about life and like why you spent your time reading this.
What was it called again?
And there's a book too. It's called How Does It Feel by Janine O'Reilly. And then there's a second. Yeah, there's going to be a second one coming out soon, maybe, actually. I can't remember what the name of it is, but yeah, part 2 is coming out, which we need part 2 because the cliffhanger is so cliffhangery. I have literally been hanging on the edge since I read this book, so I can't wait to read it. But yeah, it's very dark. I would say it's very dark. Your content warnings before you go through that, and it's definitely
Is there any cannibalism in this one?
This one does not have cannibalism. Remember, they don't even like to touch the humans, much less eat them. That's not the vibe in this one. But it is very dark. I think there's like degradation. There's like, it's a lot. It is intense the way I've never read.
A happy dance. Go ahead.
Say less.
I know. Jordan, I'm adding it. Say no more. Yeah.
I was interested in you.
I want you to read it.
I'm here.
I do want you to read it, Jordan, because I want to know what you think about it because I was shooken. Could not believe. And I feel like, Christina, you should read Butcher and Blackbird and tell me how you feel.
Oh, that sounds like right up Christina's alley. I don't know why,
I feel like you should.
Like it's giving Christina.
I feel like she's gonna like it. Yes, I feel like this book, How Does It Feel, is giving Jordan, and I feel like Butcher and Blackbird is giving Christina. And I need y'all to read them and tell me what y'all think and if I'm right.
Sounds great. I love it. They don't need to call me. I don't want to be called a good girl. There's other things you can call me.
There is absolutely no. Yeah, there's.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. That's all I got.
We're all different.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah. That was a good bunch. So I hope everyone kind of brought a little something. Everything's different. There's dark romance or dark rom-com vibes, bullying. We got some different. Yeah, I think we gave you guys a good chunk of books to add to your
what does
TBRs.
Jordan's grandma always say?
Well, we're all different. There we go. Thanks for doing a dark romance episode, everybody. And if anyone wants any other recommendations, just let me know.
Ask Jordan.
I have more.
Yeah.
I also would like to read more. So if you have, I would love, it's from indie authors. If anyone has any good indie author finds, I would love that. I know all the main ones. I'm not a big stalker. I do love a good mafia. I read plenty of mafia, which I did not think was my thing. But let's be honest. Mafia romance is very different than like mafia movies. That's what I learned.
Yeah.
I do, in fact, like mafia, and I did not think so. You know?
I haven't read any good mafia. I don't know. I guess I need the. I don't think I've read any mafia.
Okay. I have a whole series of mafia. It's lots of marriage of convenience within the mafia trope. It's mostly
that's my trope. Yeah, Janine O'Reilly's book was indie until it got so big on TikTok that Bloom picked her up.
Yeah.
And they redid her whole cover, and the second book is coming out. Is it Bloom or Bloomsbury? One of them. But yeah, so.
Good to know.
That's a thing.
Yeah, that's one thing I do want to do with my dark romance, because I'm trying not to read as many of the major titles. I'm really trying to find more indie. I think, actually, it's Carly. She also has Her Soul to Keep. that series, but
Oh,
It
is that
actually
the
was-
one with the demon who doesn't actually have a real face? Yeah, I've been
I haven't
hearing
read
about that
yet.
one.
That's on my TBR. Tina's face. She's like, I
Guys.
need a face. She's not impressed.
It's the thing. I don't know. Never mind.
Think you were into some dark shit?
Yeah. But mine's all crazy, so.
No, yours isn't crazy. It's just
different.
fictional.
We're just different.
Yours is just fictional. You need
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
appendages for the things that you're into.
Oh God. How are we gonna dive into the subject right
Although
now?
for me, it's demon tales. I mean, each their
That
own.
is-
And horns. So, yeah.
I love it.
I love it.
Oh man, what do
Another
I
episode.
have?
What do I have?
Put
the
all
whole
us of us on.
You need the whole.
I'm gonna say primal. Is that the one when they chase you? Whichever one they chase you through the woods. Oh
Did I-
man, how quickly I'll become such a damsel in distress. Oh my goodness. Are you chasing me through these dark woods? Where are
We
my
still play
shoes?
paintball.
Like, no, that's a different. No, I need somebody like huffing and puffing behind me. I need to hear like some branches crack beneath footsteps. Might be a do it. No, but that vibe. I'm pretty sure it's called primal kink. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, where they want to chase you.
I love
me.
that for you.
Digress.
Me too.
Thank you all.
Right. I thought I'd share because you guys for
Thanks.
something
I
up
didn't
of my
share.
soul.
You shared mine.
Oh, did
I just
not
said
me
different
outing
appendages.
your kink?
No, I just
That's
said different
crazy.
appendages. That's all I said. That
Yeah,
might still
Dev's
be
all
outing.
up in
I'm
here like,
sorry. That might still be outing. I'm
I
sorry.
know. I definitely did because I definitely said not us having the tentacles
God,
conversation again. So
Christina,
you're
calm
absolutely
down.
right. I sure
Did you
said
guys
that.
know what
What did you just do? No, it's coming back. It's replaying because at first I thought she was being innocent picking up the damn fan. But now I'm understanding that the fan has tentacles.
It also looks like anal beads.
Tentacles.
Okay,
You know
he
what
says
I'm
Moving
talking
right
about.
along.
Wheels real quick.
No.
Well, again, thanks so much for digging into the dark with me. For coming into the dark. Get it?
Coming.
Coming into the dark.
Coming. We're all immature. Ding, ding, ding.
We are mothers. And we can get it. Anyways,
We already
Yes, we
did.
can.
we know you did.
It's Tina with the punchline. Babes, I love it. We sure did get it. Now we got something else. Children.
Okay. Reel it in. So anyways, I think next week we will be discussing contemporary, which we'll be throwing it over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey.
To Dev's favorite, I think.
Love me a contempt.
Yeah. So I'll be a little bit more quiet on that one.
Stop. I'm so obsessed. I cannot wait. That's going to be a good conversation.
I'm really excited
About
to hear your
contemporary.
recs.
Yeah, me too.
Dev. I'm really excited to read your recs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
also, though, for contemporary, I can't wait to see what you're going to give us. I assume there's going to be some indies. Indies?
For sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think so.
Awesome.
Yeah,
indies.
I think I got a couple.
Perfect. Can't wait. All right, take us out, Christina. Take us out.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening to us ramble on about our favorite dark romance. If you're looking for more romance recs, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Romance Recs Pod. All one word, smush it together. Romance Recs Pod. You can find our favorite book recs from our episodes as well as behind the scenes content. Again, that's at Romance Recs Pod. So make sure you give us a follow and we'll be back next week with another episode.
Yay. Thank you.
Hey, woohoo.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks